back out here at Bull Island. We can't wait to see what kind of wildlife is waiting for us on this trip.
So far what we've seen, the water levels and the wildlife, very abundant, very promising. We're really going to try to convey what it feels like to see the awesome wildlife and landscape that's here. Come along with us.
We were walking right along this trail and this racer somehow picking up a little bit of heat even on this cloudy day. They are very, very active snakes. Let's see if I can get a hand on them, get a close view.
You gotta be really careful if you grab them in the posterior end like I am. You don't really pull at all. Just kind of waylay them until you can get them further up. You don't want to hurt them at all. And that spine is pretty delicate. Look at him, he just wants to get away. A lot of racers I've seen are not quite so flighty. They'll have a go at you as soon as you pick them up. Can you believe how placid this racer is, man?
Yeah, most of them bite you right in the face.
Unbelievable.
Cool.
Look at that.
He's calmed down very quickly.
He's got a really interesting wound here, and the scales have grown back in a very different way. Not at all the way they're designed to. You can see the body design of a snake like this is designed for daytime activity. They've got these round pupils, which is great for daytime light, not so good at nighttime. They've got a really pronounced brow to shade their eyes from the sun, and a really streamlined body plan so that they can actually actively hunt down an animal. They would be eating lizards, small rodents, and possibly even some other snakes. They can actually, you can see them just cruising during the daytime sometimes, just looking for stuff to eat. Really, really cool. Very different than a viper or a boa or python that's generally just sitting and waiting for prey to come by. We're walking around here next to Moccasin Pond, hopefully looking for moccasins, but we're also looking for any other kind of snake, such as this little water snake. Never ever actually seen a water snake here at Bull Island. Should be interesting. It looks like it has somewhat unique markings too. Just catch a little bit of sun. Actually, he's mostly in the shade. He's shedding. Cool little guy. He's just about 50 feet from the nearest water, and he's mussed on me. Almost looking like a moccasin sitting there with his faint bands, but you can see he's not fat enough to be a moccasin. He doesn't have the same head shape, body shape, and scalation. This is apparently why they call it Cottonmouth Pond, or Moccasin Pond. You can see this guy he's actually the smallest moccasin I've seen in the wild. He could very easily have been born this year. They give birth to live young, just like all vipers, and unlike the elapids or the other snakes that lay eggs. And he's just incredibly relaxed. If you have a little bit too much movement, I'll give you that cottonmouth display, but they certainly don't deserve the reputation for being aggressive. They will hold the ground a little bit more than most snakes, but that certainly doesn't mean that they have any aggression to them. It's so cool to see one this small. As we walk along this road, Colin and I will take either side to look for snakes along the edges where they like to hang out in the sun, but near the forest. And a racer was just here a minute ago, took off as soon as we got here, but he left something behind. Very rare to see almost a perfect shed in the wild, but this is one. And it's really, really awesome to see. You can see every scale. Get it out of here. You can see it's a good-sized racer. Really cool stuff. You can see right here on the eye cap, they actually shed the eye. They shed the scale that goes over the eye. Every square inch of them is covered with scales. Amazing thing. Another cool thing is that, of course, when the skin peels off, the skin has come off inside out, so the tail is the last thing to come off, and the outside is actually on the inside of the shed. So that's what it would have looked like on the snake.
One of the things that Austin and I have started doing a lot more is filming with SLRs. And what we've done especially a lot today is use the 500 to film, and in this case the 5D Mark III, and put the 2X and the 1.4X teleconverters on. So, you know, it does take your f-stop down to f11, but with the slower shutter speeds that video allows, you can still get some pretty stunning footage. One thing we've been trying to do this trip is show the passing of time. And the way to do that, of course, is take a lot of time lapses. It requires a lot of memory cards, a lot of batteries, but it's worth it. Good stuff.
What a phenomenal experience to come out here and see the variety and the abundance of the wildlife at Bull Island.
We've really learned a lot about the wildlife, especially the avian species, and that's helped us to get some pretty good footage. But we're all out of power now. In fact, the last battery pack's in the camera and it's on red, it's blinking at us, so we're gonna head back.
As we walk along these corridors, we don't know what to say.
Through the lav mic, so use that for editing. All right.
All right, you want to just frame on him, and I'll come up to the frame.
Okay, y'all get in close, and then zoom back to you. Wait a sec, I gotta find him. All right, I got him.
This is why we've come here, and certainly why this is called Moccasin Pond. This is the smallest cottonmouth I've ever seen in the wild. They are newborn. I just ruined that, didn't I?
Alright.
Okay, right? You can see the body plan of this snake as a racer is designed for a very active life during the daytime. They've got that.
Take two. Alright.
You can see the body.
Alright, this has lav audio, so use the lav audio when editing. I'll just put this down here. Ready? Good. One thing we've been trying to do this trip is to show the passing of time. The way to do that, of course, is a lot of...
This is the first shot we've tried to do with the jib system, and it's proven to be probably the most difficult we'll do. We're trying to see these fiddler crabs at their level and then go up and see the marsh from high above. And it would be an awesome shot if we get it right down to a science.
Austin eating Austin crackers. Far too literal for me.
Brought to you by your local YouTube buffoons.